What's up, everybody? Welcome to Inspire with Fire, where we meet you at the intersection of life, faith, family, and business. I'm Krista Abbott, your host, and today we're going to be looking at some prophetic themes for 2022. Welcome to episode 202. Isn't it neat how episode 202 is the first episode of 2022? And we're looking at the prophetic themes for 2022. I just love all the twos. Somebody give it up for the twos, loves. But Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you guys. 2022 is going to be an amazing year. And God is speaking. And I tell you what, I am leaning into what he is saying now more than ever before. And I hope that you are too, and finding your new groove for the new year. Come on, somebody, a new groove for the new year. Well, I'm in the process of leaning into what God is saying for this season. And like I said, I hope you are too. At least I'm looking at what he's saying for my life individually. But I believe that there's a greater global corporate application to the individual word that he is bringing to me. So my intention is to get some of these relevant things written out and compiled into an official prophetic word for 2022, but it's still marinating a little bit. Somebody say, the longer it marinates, the better it gets. So it's still marinating a little bit, and I want to make sure that I'm really capturing it in its fullness. So it may be a few more days before we get it to that good and ready phase. But today I wanted to go ahead and share in like a casual coffee talk style. Get your coffee, somebody. Go ahead, drop a note in the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know you got your coffee. Give me a coffee cup emoji or something. But as you come on in, just drop a note, say hello. And if you're watching on the replay, then go ahead and give us a hashtag team replay, so that we know that you stopped by and we can give you a little bit of love in the comments later. But so we're going to share a little bit of coffee talk style, some of the things that are on my heart for this year, and some of the things that God is saying. And so, are you ready? Somebody say, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And we're going to get this party started here in just about 30 seconds. So hang with me as you guys come.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me.
All right, are y'all ready for 2022 and what God is saying? I'm super excited. And like I said, for those of you just hopping in, I was just sharing before the intro bumper there that God has really been speaking some things to my heart for the year of 2022. And I do have a prophetic word that I'm going to write up in a more official capacity. But it is still marinating. So we're going to process it in casual coffee talk a little bit together today. How's that sound? That sound good to everybody? And then we'll get it to that good and ready phase. We'll put out something a little more fine-tuned and official. But we're just going to kind of process it a little bit this morning. Hey, good morning, Ruthie. Good morning, Susan. Good to see you guys here. And I got a couple of Facebook users. I don't know who you are, but welcome. If you see a link around this video somewhere, depending on which platform you're watching on, it may be above the video or below the video, but there is a little link there that you can click that will give my software permission to show me your comments. So just click that link. You're not giving away your personal information or anything. You're just saying, yeah, you can show her who I am. So go ahead and click that link so I can see who you are and give you some shout outs. Ruthie, good to see you this morning. Been a minute. Happy New Year, cuz. Hey, Lindsay, good to see you in the house this morning. I hope you and your family are doing good and having a good start to the new year. Susan, good to see you in the house. Get your coffee, girl. Go on ahead. I got mine right here. I got mine right here. So we're going to go ahead and get it started this morning. But one of the first things that God started speaking to me for this year was seek first. Seek first. I've been waking up and I've been hearing God say simply seek first. So he's saying seek him first in the morning before we start our day. Seek him first before making big decisions and taking on new responsibilities. Seek him first for his kingdom and his righteousness. Matthew 6:33. Matthew 6:33 says, so above all, constantly seek God's kingdom and his righteousness, then all these less important things will be given to you abundantly. So God's kingdom is the way God is doing things. It's not religion, it's not church, it's not the laws and regulations of whatever your faith and beliefs may be. That is not the kingdom. The kingdom is God's way. The kingdom is God's culture. So God's saying here to seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. Righteousness is being in right standing with God. It's living in a way that God approves of. So seek first doing things God's way. Seek first living a life that God approves of. That's what he's saying by seek first. Above all things, seek first. I think a lot of times we get caught up in seeking the things, seeking our life purpose, or seeking after our dreams and our visions and setting our goals and all this kind of stuff. But God's saying, no, seek me first, seek my kingdom, seek my way of doing things, seek the righteousness, or seek living out a life that is pleasing to me. And one way that we can do that, one way that the biggest way, the place we need to start, somebody say the starting points in the comments, right? The starting point for seeking first the kingdom is to pursue wisdom. So in doing that, I've been starting off the year with pursuing wisdom and really seeking wisdom through this 31-day wisdom challenge that I'm going through. I had put out a thing in the private community group, the Come Up Higher group, to let you guys know about it and invite you to join me and go along with me on that journey in this 31-day wisdom challenge. But essentially what the wisdom challenge is it's just taking one book of Proverbs each day and reading through it, meditating on it, and letting God speak to you about it. Now, I'm doing it with a large group of people. You can join a group of people like me, or you can do it on your own. But there's 31 books in Proverbs. There's 31 days in the month. Well, most months anyway. But luckily for us, January, the first month of the year, there's 31 days in the month. So it worked out real good. And it's a perfect time for us to start the year off in seeking wisdom. And the place you do that and the place you start with that is in the book of Proverbs. So I've been going through for the past 11 days now. Today is for those watching live, today is the 12th of January. So today is day 12. So we're in what? Guess what? Chapter 12. Because it's the 12th day. So in taking this one book of Proverbs and reading through it, meditating on it each day, amazing things have just been happening. And God's been highlighting some really key areas for me personally and giving me greater insight. And I am hearing him a lot more clearly on a lot of things, and I'm getting a lot of clarity for myself and my direction personally. So just to look at some of what God says about wisdom and the pursuit of it. If we look at Proverbs 4:7, it says that the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. And whatever you get insight. So it's saying the beginning of wisdom, your first step to wisdom is to get wisdom. And then when you get it, understand it, get insight. Insight is understanding or a deeper revelation knowledge. So it's saying get wisdom and then understand it. is what it's saying here. This is the start. This is the beginning of wisdom. And wisdom is also, we could look at saying the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So the beginning of wisdom is to get wisdom. So get that wisdom, whatever you do, because why is wisdom important? Proverbs 16:16 says this. Now, we hadn't got to day 16 yet, so I'm just pulling this one a little early on us. But Proverbs 16:16 says, everyone wants gold, but wisdom's worth is far greater. Silver is sought after, but a heart of understanding yields a greater return. So let's look back up at 4:7 here. It says, get wisdom. And what does it say in 16:16? Wisdom's worth is far greater than gold. Okay, so get wisdom because it's far greater than gold. And then it says, and then when you get it, whatever wisdom you get, it says, then get insight. Well, insight's just another word for understanding. What is understanding according to Proverbs 16:16? A heart of understanding yields a return. It's like silver. So you got wisdom, whose worth is far greater than gold. And then you've got understanding, which is more sought after than silver and yields a greater return than silver. So here, the writer of Proverbs, who is King Solomon, somebody say, yay, King Solomon. He was saying, hey, look, wisdom's way more valuable than any gold or silver you're going to get. And then when you understand wisdom, you're going to get an even greater return on what you have. So if you need to invest in anything, everybody wants to invest so that they can get gains and have an increase and a return on their investment. You want a return on your investment in your life. You want a return on your investment in your spirit. Get wisdom and get understanding. When you have wisdom and understanding, then you're going to have something that's far greater, that's a far greater worth than gold, and it yields a greater return than silver. How do I know that? Well, let's look over in Romans. Somebody say Romans. Romans 11:33. Look, it says, how great are God's riches and wisdom and knowledge. Oh, how great are God's riches and wisdom and knowledge. So true wealth in the kingdom. Remember, we talked about seek first the kingdom. True wealth in the kingdom is wisdom and understanding. Wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and understanding. We're going to blow your mind for just a minute here. In just a second, not even a minute. I'm not even going to take a full minute to get there. But wisdom is going to be a big focus for me this year. I'm really leaning into wisdom heavily, seeking first the kingdom, seeking first what God's plan is and what God's agenda is and what he has for me and what he has for me to do as far as kingdom assignments go. And we'll talk about those in a minute, but seeking first and then pursuing wisdom. Okay, those are the two things that the first two things that I hear God speaking to us for 2022. And then what is this thing about wisdom being a focus? Well, a lot of people at the beginning of the year, what we see normally happen is a lot of people are wanting to, get their goals in order, get their life goals in order, right? Well, check this out, y'all. Y'all ready? Somebody say I'm ready. Give me some I'm readies in the comments. I need to see some loves. give me some comment loves. Give me some fire emojis or something. All right, I see you. All right, there we go. All right, Proverbs 3:21 is where I want to go here when we're looking at goals and setting goals for the new year. You want some goals? Somebody say hashtag goals. I want some goals for the new year. Hashtag goals. You want some? I got you some. I got you some, boo, right here, right here. Check this out. Proverbs 3:21, my child, never drift off course from these two goals for your life. say, what? People be like, I need to find my purpose, Lord. Let me find my purpose, Jesus. Help me find my purpose. He says right here in Proverbs, he gives you 2 life goals that you can, if you ain't got no goals, baby, you got 2 right here that God's saying, I give you the first 2. I give you the first 2 to focus on. Here they are: to walk in wisdom and to discover discretion. Oh, then he says, don't ever forget how they empower you. Never drift off course from these 2 goals for your life: to walk in wisdom and to discover discretion. Now, I know this verse was in the Bible. I didn't. I mean, I just discovered this one in this form anyway. This is the Passion Translation. Now, I've read it in other formats, but in this format, it actually calls them out as life goals. Okay. But even without reading this version and without really knowing this verse was in here in this way, for the vast majority of my life, part of my daily prayer has been, God, give me wisdom, discernment, and discretion today as I go about my blah, 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 whatever I'm doing that day. Okay, give me wisdom, discernment, discretion. Almost my whole life, it's been a standard prayer. I didn't even know it was in the Bible, y'all. So I got pretty excited when I read it. I was like, OMG, there it is. So you need some life goals. I got you 2 right there: walk in wisdom and discover discretion. And never forget how they empower you. So wisdom and discretion bring empowerment to you. We walk around and everybody's all about get empowered, be empowered. Here's your empowerment, boo. Walk in wisdom and discover discretion. In other words, fall in love with wisdom. Somebody say, I love wisdom in the comments. I love wisdom. Let me see what y'all got going over here. Susan's with me this morning. Ruthie's with me. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? All right now. I see y'all. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. All right. So the third thing that I've been hearing God say for 2022 is make room. Somebody say number 3, make room. So to seek God, to seek him first, and to find or to pursue and find wisdom and to walk in it, we have to make room in our life. We have to make room in our schedule for doing that. We have to make room to seek him. We have to make room to find wisdom in whatever we're doing, and we have to modify things with what God is showing us. Okay. So it's being fully surrendered to what God is calling us into and what he's calling us to do. Okay. So what is God calling you into? What's in your heart to do? Those are the things that God is wanting to impart to you. And it's really asking ourselves and asking God, is this part of my kingdom assignment? And is this part of what God has called me to do? Is it a good thing, or is it a God ordained and assigned thing? There are a lot of things that can come into our life and they're good things, but not everything that comes into our life is a God thing. So we really do have to evaluate everything coming in as if we're looking at it from that perspective of, is this something that God is giving me? Is this something God is assigning me? And if you spend time each day seeking God and seeking wisdom and walking with discretion, then you're going to have your radar is going to be more fine-tuned to discern. And discernment means, rightfully deciding, where something is or what the true motive is behind a thing. So you're going to be able to rightfully discern what is good and what is God. And this has been a lesson that I've been walking out for a while now, is really having to find and determine what those things are in my life that are good, great things, and which of those things are really God things. So if we chase things, if we spend time chasing things that are not aligned with the kingdom or that are not aligned with our specific assignments in the kingdom, then it's kind of like chasing the wind. It's pointless, it's fruitless. Ecclesiastes says that it's like chasing the wind. And how many know that you can't catch the wind? And what's going to happen if you get caught up in too big of a wind is you're going to get tossed around, right? So just imagine a big windstorm. It kind of blows you sideways and can get you off track a little bit. So if we're chasing things that God never intended for us to chase, if we're pursuing things that are outside of alignment with the kingdom and outside of alignment with our assignments, then it's like chasing the wind. And there's a song that God's put in my heart this week, and I posted it in the Come Up Higher group. And for those of you watching outside of the group on a different platform, you can join us in that group for free at comeuphighergroup.com. But I posted yesterday a YouTube video for you guys to enjoy of this song that God has really put in my heart for this week specifically anyway. And the name of the song is called Make Room. It's an older song. It's not a brand new one or anything. It's, I don't know, a couple years old maybe. But or at least it feels like it. I've heard it for a while. But it just kept playing over and over in my spirit, and it showed up on my playlist this week. And when it hit, I felt the spirit on it. I felt, I could feel God's presence when it came. So when I find a song and God's presence shows up the minute I hear it, I know, okay, God's on this for right now. God's on this song for right now. And so then I just continue listening to it. Like somebody say, hit repeat, girl, hit repeat, so that I can maintain that presence of God in that moment and lean in to what he's saying. Hey, Lori, I'm glad you were able to hop on, my friend. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Prayers yesterday for sure. Glad everything worked out and everything's okay. I'm gonna share that little story here in a minute. Not the personal story, but the example of kingdom assignment. But this song that I was talking about was Make Room, is called Make Room. And part of the lyrics to this song say, shake off the ground of all my tradition, break down the walls of all my religion, your way is better. This song is talking about kingdom life. This song is talking about, it's not talking about church. It's not talking about religion. It's not talking about your rules. It's talking about God's way. God's way is better than all of that. God's way is better than your traditions. Traditions might be fun. They might be enjoyable for you, but God's way is better. God's way is better than religion. Religion will tie you down. Religion will keep you bound and in rules and regulations and all this kind of stuff. God doesn't want rules and regulations. Jesus came to set us free from the law. He came to set us free from all those things so that we can have a relationship. Our relationship with God is kingdom. Our relationship is his way. Our relationship with God is what he wants for us. And that's how we know when you're in relationship with someone, you know how to do life in a way that brings honor to them. So when we're in relationship with God, we're going to do life in a way that brings honor to him, because our love for him is going to cause us to not want to do anything to disappoint him. That's not rules, that's love. Right? Okay. That's a different sermon for a different day. Now let me get back to kingdom assignments. So kingdom assignments are the God things that we chase. The God things that I was talking about earlier. You got good things and you got God things. The God things are our kingdom assignments, and these are the things that we're chasing or pursuing or trying to seek after. And 2022, for me, I want to get laser focused on those kingdom assignments. Because y'all know I like me some squirrels or some squirrels, right? I'll be chasing them. Wow! But I feel like God's saying, okay, it's cute that you like to chase squirrels, and I'll still chase some in here with y'all because we're going to have fun. God's all about having fun too. It's okay to chase squirrels when it's squirrel chasing time. But there comes a time when you have to get laser focused to get things done. And so in our kingdom assignments, what I feel like God is saying is that in 2022, we're entering into a new season. We're entering into, yes, it's a new year, but we're also entering into a new cycle with God. We're entering into a new season of things. A new day is here. And when a new day comes, then you have to get focused on what needs to get done in that day, right? There are some days that more things need to get done than other days, right? We have our Saturdays and we play and we have fun. Then there are days that we need to get crap done. So we're in a season now where God's saying, I need you to focus. I need you to come in and focus on what your kingdom assignment is and to do those things that I've created you to do and that I've assigned for you to do. Those things are part of his plan for our lives. And as we give attention to the things that he's given you first, the God things, not the good things, and you got to have the wisdom to know the difference, right? So that's why we're seeking wisdom and we're seeking God first this year. Pursuing wisdom and seeking him first is so that we can rightfully discern what is good and what is God, so that we don't spend our time, our energy, and our resources on things that God never meant for us to pursue and God never meant for us to chase. That's chasing the wind. So how serious do we take these kingdom assignments? If they're long-term assignments that maybe we've been doing for a while, have we gotten lax? Have we gotten lazy? Have we gotten neglectful of them? Or have we allowed our own desires to creep in and distract us from what God is maybe calling us to do? Have we allowed the concerns or the cares of life to weigh us down and rob us of the motivation and the energy that God's given us for this season and for this time? So are we ready? Are you ready? Am I ready to go all in on what God's called us to do in this season? There's another song God's been highlighting to me this week, and it's forget the title of it, but I'll post it in the group. But the lyrics say, I'm going all in over my head. And it's talking about the things of God. It's talking about going all in with God. So are you ready to go all into what he has called you to do in this season, into that life purpose that he's given you and given you to do? And if you're not sure what that is, we talked about it earlier. If you're not sure what life purpose is, you already got two goals that God gave you in Proverbs 3:21. Y'all remember what they were? Our life purpose, a lot of people get caught up in trying to find their life purpose. And do you know what life purpose is? It's comprised of a series of kingdom assignments. God's given you something to do. When you do that, you go to the next thing he's given you to do. When you do that, you go to the next thing he's given you to do. So your life purpose is just comprised of doing all of these kingdom assignments that you have. It's comprised of being willing to lay down the good to pursue the great, to lay down those things that look great and look good and feel good and taste good, smell good, sound good, to pursue the great things of God. Because why? Because Romans 11:33, the great things of God, the riches of God are wisdom. The riches of God is wisdom and discretion and knowledge. Those things are far more valuable than gold and silver and all this other stuff. You know why? Because when you have wisdom, when you have discretion, You know how to get all those other things. It's easy. It's not a struggle, right? Because God says if you seek these other things, if you seek wisdom, if you get wisdom, if you seek me first, then I'll add all these other things to you. You don't have to chase the wind. Just seek wisdom and seek first the kingdom and live a life that's right in God's eyes, and He's going to bring the wind to you. You don't have to chase it. Somebody say, I don't chase. I don't chase the wind. The wind finds me. The windfall. You ever heard anybody say they got their windfall? Anyway, lean into those kingdom assignments you have. You're not sure what they are. Start with the life goals of Proverbs 3:21, which says, my child, never drift off course from these two goals for your life, to walk in wisdom and to discover discretion. And remember, don't ever forget how they empower you. Don't ever forget how wisdom and discretion empower you to live a fully charged kingdom life. I'm going to start wrapping this up and bringing it home. There's more that God's been putting in my heart for 2022. We can talk more about it in another episode. There are 2 dreams I had in December, and these 2 dreams are what I believe God is saying specifically for this new year and this new season we're walking into. I'll go into more detail and maybe share those dreams in our next episode. But two powerful dreams of what God showed me are to come. They'll definitely, when I do have this all marinated good and have the opportunity to write this out, they'll definitely show up in that. But so there's a little cliffhanger for you to come back for episode 203, so you can hear all about the dreams and what God's saying through the dreams. All right, so but there's a journey. There's a journey here in 2022 that God is inviting us to take with Him this year, and I'm going to be talking more about that in the coming weeks. And he's because he's starting to put together some puzzle pieces for me, but I don't have the full picture yet. Somebody say, sometimes you gotta wait for the timing. You gotta wait for the timing, and of course, you'll be invited along for that journey for sure. I'm working out the details and praying into them a bit more to get full clarity. But I'll tell you this. The journey, it starts with partnership. It starts with partnering with God, and it also starts with partnering with each other. So, are you ready to take the journey with me this year? If so, I want to invite you to partner with me by setting up a recurring monthly donation so that we can keep doing this. We can keep bringing this broadcast to you. You can do that in any amount that's comfortable for you at kristaabbott.com/give. And that will be the start of the journey into kingdom elevation and focusing on your kingdom assignment for this year. And like I said, there'll be more details about that and what all of that means coming soon. But that is the starting place. So are you guys ready for the starting place? Give me some love over in the comments. Let me know you're here. Yes, Susan, you do not chase the wind. You do not chase the wind. So Lori, what Lori's talking about here with the prayers yesterday. Now, this is an example I want to share with you guys on kingdom assignments. When we start seeking first the kingdom and leaning into what God is saying to us daily. So seek first the kingdom every day. Every day you wake up is a new day. And one of the practices I have when I'm really trying to develop clarity with hearing God, and just to, fine tune, how when you tune a radio, you got a little static, you tune it in to get a more crisp, audio to what you're sharing or hearing. So one of the practices I like to do when I'm trying to fine tune my hearing and get more crystal clear on what I'm hearing from God is I'll just ask God, like, okay, God, uh, is is there somebody that needs encouragement today? Is there somebody that I need to talk to or reach out to? And then I go about my day. I just throw it out there like, God, I'm yours. I'm here today to be used by you. If there's somebody that needs something, let me know. Well, I've been practicing that a little bit this week to fine tune my hearing on some things, because there's specific things I'm praying and asking God about. So I'm fine tuning. And so yesterday was a very interesting day. I think it was 4 or 5 people that throughout the day, it wasn't all at one time. It was just random thoughts. Um, and really over the past few days, this has happened a few times with people. But I had one person that God had me reach out to, and they were really in a bad way. Like he had me call this person, and I was like, why are you having me call this person, Lord? I don't have anything to say. Like, not that I don't love them, I do, but it's like I don't have a purpose for my call. It's going to be weird to just call it and be like, hey, so yeah, how you doing? Sometimes with certain people, when you call them, you need a purpose, right? You need a purpose for the call. So I made this call and I had no clue what I was going to say when the person answered the phone. But as soon as they answered the phone, I could hear in their voice, uh-oh, something's not normal here. And after a few of pushing just a little bit, like, hey, I hear something in your voice that I've never heard before. Are you sure everything's okay? Then they opened up a little bit and told me what was going on, and I was able to pray with them. But this is not someone I call on a regular basis. And it's a friend, of course, or I wouldn't have their phone number, right? But it's not someone I talk to a lot. So that's what made it a little different. And so I knew when God said, call this person, that something was going on. And then there were a couple other people that their faces kept coming in my head. And Lori was one of those. And so I shot her a text yesterday and I was like, hey, I'm just thinking about you. How's it going? Well, they're at the moment, without revealing any of her personal information, at the moment, she was waiting for some news. And so I was able to pray with her and encourage her. And then there was another person that when I texted them at the prompting of the Lord, they were just landing in another state to go help a family member that needed their help. And so I was able to pray for them. So it's like what I want to encourage you to do here. And there was another person I texted yesterday, and she had just had a traumatic event happen to her the day before, and she needed to talk about it and get it out. So I was able to help her process that event and then pray with her. And it didn't take long, 15-20 minutes on the phone. And then, text messages back and forth to people that maybe they just needed to know a friend loved them or cared about them. I don't know, or that God was thinking about them. But what my point here is fine tune your hearing. And that's something you can do. You can just say, hey, God, do you have an encouraging word I can share with somebody today? And then just go about your day, go about your business, but pay attention and lean in and listen. And then when something like that happens, suddenly somebody pops in your mind randomly. You go, okay, what's this about? Do I need to pray for them? And then you kind of ask questions and then follow the leading of the Spirit. So like with Lori, it was like, hey, I hadn't heard from Lori. I hadn't talked to her since the new year. I wonder how she's doing. Hey, what's up? And then this other lady, hey, I'm going to do Inspire with Fire tomorrow. Why don't you show up? And she's like, oh my God, I just went through this traumatic thing yesterday. Can you please call me? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And then this other guy that, God just dropped in my heart and was like, hey, call him. And I'm like, what am I going to say? And, so just lean into that kind of thing and pay attention to what God may be speaking to your heart. Those are kingdom assignments. Some of them are short-term kingdom assignments, like those. Just, hey, reach out to somebody, let them know you care, let them know I'm thinking about them. And with some people, it's just like that. Hey, I was thinking about you. God loves you. He wants you to know that he loves you. So he asked me to, just tell you that today. Or, hey, you're a champ. Everything's going to be great. Everything's going to work out. Whatever is in your heart to share with that person that God is highlighting to you, just do it and see what happens. So that's kind of like a prophetic practice. Okay, it's like an exercise to here in the new year, a lot of people are in the gym, they're working out, they're exercising their muscles, right? So it's like a prophetic practice of exercising your ability to, one, hear God, and number two, to provide encouragement and strength to others. The Bible says that prophecy is exhortation, edification, and encouragement that we give to each other. So can you prophesy? I don't know. Can you encourage somebody? Can you exhort them? Sure you can. Anyway, so that's talking a little bit about the kingdom assignments. So I see a bunch more people hopped on here. We're just getting ready to close out, and I shared earlier some prophetic themes that God is speaking to me for 2022. I'll be unfolding those a little more in upcoming episodes. But I would encourage you to go back and watch the replay and hear some of the things that God is saying this year, just as a highlight. And you can get the details on the replay, but as a highlight, he's saying seek first, pursue wisdom, make room for him, and to really fine tune and lean into those kingdom assignments that we have. Excuse me. I'll be sharing a little more about some dreams I had in December, and specifically what God is saying about those for the new year and what's to come in upcoming episodes. Maybe next week's episode, we'll get into that as I lean into the Lord and he shows us the right timing to share those, we'll do that. But definitely good news. Definitely good things in those dreams that you'll want to hear about. So that's it. That's all I got for today. I'm so glad you guys stopped by. Hey, Jillian, good to see you in the house. Yeah. Oh, thank you, my sister. That's my gifting. Yeah. Hey, Kevin's here. Hey, but yeah. Oh, Angela, all the way from Dublin. Hey, Angela, have I introduced you to my sister, Jillian? I got my two Irish sisters in the house today. Angela is in Ireland, and Jillian is in Kansas City via Ireland. So you guys need to connect. Y'all might know some same people. Heck, y'all might be related. Who knows? Yeah, Lindsay, there's some good stuff coming. There's if I could have PC Chris Roche in the house. Oh my God. There's an urgency to the hour. Better eat my banana split breakfast burrito. Banana split breakfast burrito. What in the world, Chris, are you eating? Oh my gosh. You better tell me what that is. There y'all go. Y'all have connected. Angela and Jillian have connected. We can all rest now that the two Irish girls are going to be talking about Irish things. Hey, we got the Cliffs of Moher behind me back there. Y'all see that picture? That's my virtual shout out to Ireland every time I come on live. I'm going there one day. I'm going to see it. It was supposed to be this year, but COVID. That's okay. We'll get there. But anyway, all right, I'm going to wrap it up because now I'm doing what? Lori's favorite thing, chasing squirrels. But anyway, hope you guys have a fabulous day. If you missed the prophetic themes for the year, please go back and watch it. I really think that God will speak to you and let you see how some of these things can relate and connect and tie into your life for this year. But more to come. This is just starting to marinate, so there's going to be more talk about 2022 and what God's saying. And yeah, so this is just like, I'm just giving y'all a sneak peek. Just giving you a sneak peek. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys probably next Wednesday. Keep an eye on the Facebook group, the Come Up Higher group. Like I said, if you're not already a member of that, then you can join us at, where is my slide? I think this one's it. Or is it? Where'd it go? I don't know, but we'll just use this one because the link's at the bottom. But you can join us at the comeuphighergroup.com. It's a free Facebook group that you can be a part of. And yeah, here we go. Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Eastern is our normal stream time, but because we are in the new year and I'm leaning into some things, trying to flow with God and get the plan for the new year. Just pay attention to the group, and I'll make a post and let you guys know. So it's kind of tentatively planned for next week at 8 a.m. and I'll confirm that with you guys as the week goes. Okay. And if you miss an episode, you can subscribe over at inspirewithfire.tv. Never miss an episode. If you need to go back and check out the replay, you can do that there. And if you would like to make a donation, there's all the places you can do that. Remember, it all starts with partnership this year. So let's partner together and get this message out for what God is doing. So with that said, I'm going to leave you guys with this fun little closing bumper. And we'll say, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he turn his face toward you and give you peace. You guys have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.